Okay, so for the first part of our project, we had to compare a letter that was written by or signed by a mourner. And the whole goal is to find out who wrote this letter. So what we had to first do was take all the words that were written in the letter and count out how many letters each word had. Okay? That's what this is right here. And then what we had to do is we counted them all up. So there was 2 one-letter words, 22 two-letter words, and so on. So what we had to do is we had to take the total number of words that had that corresponding amount and then compare it to their value. So there's 22 two-letter words, which means that there's 44 letters. So, and then what we had to do was we had to find the mean, the median, the mode, and so on for that, of the data that we found. These right here were all given to us by the data, and we had to compare each one of these to this one to find the closest one. So the goal is to find whoever has the most in common with a mourner is likely to be a mourner. Right here, it counts out how many times this person has had similarities with a mourner. This one has 4, 4, 2, and so on. So what we did is we calculated out who was most likely here, and they gave us an order of who was most likely this way. Now there was 3 people who tied for first, and then there was 2 and 3 corresponding. And then for the second question, what we had to do, or no, that was the second question. What we had to do for the third one is compare the 2 Adams summaries. Adams had done 2 works. Samuel Adams had this one, and we're comparing the 2. These are averages of these 2. So we had to compare these 2 and find that even though they're the same writer, they could be extremely different as far as sum of the letters or max size of words 17 to 13, range 16 to 12, and so on. And then for the fourth question, we had to come up with what other information would be useful to identify a mourner. Other information that we came up with is pretty much your own opinion on where that would go.
For the second part of our project, we had to deal with blood chemistry, which was taken from a woman named Abby. She's trying to find out if she has any cause for concern with her blood work, concerning her blood work. And so what she did is she found a bunch of other people's results and got their standard deviations and their means. And yeah, these are the ones that she found, and these are her results. And this is the z-score for each one of her results based on the rest of these. But the first question said wants us to clarify and make sure that Abby got all the right numbers for the standard deviation and mean for each person. And so what it did is it gave us some numbers here, 35 to 150 milligrams per liter. I think that's what it was. And so what we did is we found just that gave us the min, max, and range. And so we found the standard deviation, the mean, and all of that from those results. And these matched up with what we were given. And so we confirmed that she did, in fact, do everything right. And here, using Abby's criteria and the means and standard deviations provided, we want to know which blood components she should be concerned about. And so the way to find that would be to find a z-score for each one of her scores. And she wanted to deal with each score that was 1.96 z-scores away from the mean. And so what we did is we found each z-score, and for every one that was 1.96 away, that's a cause for concern for her. So as you can see here, I don't know what this one is, but this is 4 away, 3, and another 3. So those are all pretty big causes for concern for her. And those are really all the questions we had for this part. And yeah, so we find that she should just be concerned about her total cholesterol and her LDL LDL and HDL ratio. So